Shalom, Israel, Shalom. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call, Halo Yimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Wa, Rahak Wadash, Shemai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahayim Nawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Mamanya, Wa, Rahak Wadashka, Laha, the flock, Tawab, Tawab, Amen. Shalom Israel, Kwam Yasharala. This is part two to our series, Woe unto Egypt. Woe unto Egypt. And it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And I would like to start off with the Apocrypha, the Epistle of Jeremiah. And it says, a copy of an epistle which Jeremy sent unto them which were to be led captives into Babylon by the king of the Babylonians, to certify them, as it was commanded him of the Most High, because of the sins which ye have committed before the Most High Yahweh, ye shall be led away captives into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians. Now we know that Babylon is symbolic for America. King Nebuchadnezzar will be symbolic for our president. So when ye become unto Babylon, ye shall remain there many years for a long season, namely 7 generations. And 7 generations is 7 just meaning completion, and parabolically this is the 7th generation. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's continue. And after that I will bring you away peaceably. Let's read that again. And after that I will bring you away peaceably from thence. So we went through our torment in Babylon, working hard, pressing, and we still got the troubles. We still got Jacob's trouble, and it's continually and it still got the rest of these curses to fulfill, but it's being lifted, and the Lord has shown his presence on this earth, and you look forward to that pink moon this evening. You understand what I'm saying? Which is a beautiful sign from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Now shall ye see in Babylon gods of silver and of gold and of wood borne upon shoulders, which cause the nations to fear. You understand what I'm saying? So you'll see gods of silver and gold, and of wood borne upon shoulders, which cause the nations to fear. You're gonna see, pronoun and things that are, let's see, because gold is like a rich power, a rich substance, and the power, and it shall have you to fear, like fearing, Esau, Edom, or fearing these other nations. You know what I'm saying? Being taught to be lowly. You understand what I'm saying? And also these symbolic for these churches, falling into a fear spirit, going underneath their, the false philosophies and the doctrine, and being indoctrinated by this nation. A spell cast upon you. Beware therefore that ye in no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye and of them when ye see the multitude. Don't be like these strangers, Let's be Israel. When ye see the multitude before them and behind them, worshiping them. Don't worship, these false idols. Don't worship man. Don't listen to the tongue of man. Don't listen to these soothsayers, these prognosticators, these people who tell you lies. And don't worship these false prophets. But say ye in your hearts, say ye in your mind, O Lord, we must worship thee, for mine angel is with you, and I myself caring for your souls, which is your spirits. You understand what I'm saying? His angel, which is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, our Lord and Savior, our brother, who we shall follow through the end of the earth. You understand what I'm saying? That he sent his angel, his only begotten son, his firstborn from the creation. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let's continue the series, part 2 of Woe unto Egypt. And we left off at Exodus 2:7. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew woman, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. Said the maid, went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. You understand what I'm saying? So we were nursed into the ways and the customs of the heathens, symbolically. You know, we were fed the milk of the heathen nations. We were fed the milk of the false philosophies of America, aka Babylon, spiritual Egypt. We were indoctrinated with everything and all the soothsaying, you know, to have us forget who we were. And we, being symbolic for Moses, became indoctrinated into this way of living. Let's continue. The child grew, and she brought him into Pharaoh's daughter, and she became her son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian, smiting in Hebrew one of his brethren. You understand what I'm saying? So Moses, being a part of this of Egypt, his spirit started to have a feeling inside when he seen how his people was being treated. So at that point in time, he started to rise up. Kwam Yasharala. He started to rise. You understand what I'm saying? And he looked this way, and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. You understand what I'm saying? So that's like smiting the ways of this world once the spirit becomes on you and you wake up to this truth, this 144% doctrine. Can we all agree upon that? And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together, and he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me, as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. So now, just like now, everybody knows who we are. And then there will be some fear of people, you know, turning their back on you, neglecting you, fearing the Pharaoh, the Egypt, and what his punishment will be, but not fearing the Most High and all his glory. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Let's continue. Now the Pharaoh heard this thing. He sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian and sat down by a well. So what we're doing symbolically is running from this place. Get out of her. Leave this place spiritually. You understand what I'm saying? And sat down by the water, by the well, which is this living water. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled I always have a problem with pronouncing this word, the troughs, to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. So now he's symbolic. The 7 daughters are Israel. Moses will help water the flock. The flock meaning the sheep of Israel. Can you receive it? You understand what I'm saying? And that's when that spirit started to be poured on them, the people of Israel. Let's continue. And he said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread, that they might sit down and have this counsel, like we do with these video epistles, or we do as brethren, you know, and the seeds of Jacob sit down and have counsel, so we break bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And that's what we've been, strangers in this strange land that we dwell in. It doesn't belong to us. This is each spiritual Edom. We don't belong here. We are Jerusalem. We were a people before we were a place. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto the Most High Yahweh by reason of bondage, like we do right now. We weep, we mourn, we cry, you know, we beg, we mourn in sackcloth and ashes, you know, crying unto the Lord about this bondage that we're in, this trouble that we're in. Can he please save us out of it? Can he release us? Can you receive it? You understand what I'm saying? And the Most High Yahweh heard their groaning, and the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And Yahweh looked upon the children of Israel, and Yahweh had respect unto them. You understand what I'm saying? Let's continue. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and it came to the mountain of Yahweh, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And the Lord saw that he turned aside to see. Yahweh called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh, draw not near hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for this place wherein thou standest is holy ground. Holy meaning separate. It is separate from all other nations, from all heathenistic customs. You understand what I'm saying? So when you cross over into this realm, when you cross over to this power, you are separated. When you come back into your remembrance, your truth, you have separated yourself from everything that you've ever known. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father. I am the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon Yahweh. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. So all the begging and pleading and praying and worshiping and sorrows and asking for forgiveness and help me. How can I get through this? How can I get the power? Can you help me get through this, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai? I need you. Was heard. Our cries went to heaven, and he heard us. Our taskmasters being the people who indoctrinated us, the people that taught us the philosophies of man, the ones who slave us from 9 to 5. And I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, out of the left hand of your taskmaster, out of Edom. Can you receive it? And to bring them up out of the land unto a good land, and a large unto a land flowing with milk and honey, your reward, your inheritance, that everlasting glory, that everlasting life, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed. Come now therefore, and I will send unto thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children out of Israel, out of Egypt. Symbolic for your priests, your apostles, your your evangelists, who have constantly spit this word in its entirety and its full power to awaken Israel. Symbolic for Moses sending to this place, which is spiritual Egypt, to talk to Israel. And he says, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve Yahweh upon this mountain. And Moses said unto Yahweh, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the power of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is this name? And what will I say unto them? And Yahweh said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you, and I am is Yahweh, that I am Yahweh. And he said, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, hath sent me unto you. And Yahweh said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord Yahweh and your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, the power of Jacob, hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial to all the generations. And a memorial is a mount, and it's Mount Zion. You understand what I'm saying to you? And that's a beautiful thing. Which is us. Who is Israel? Who is Yasharallah? He is a prince of power. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt, and unto the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall hearken, they shall listen, they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt. And ye shall say unto them, the Lord Yahweh of the Hebrews hath met with us, and now let us go. We beseech thee. Beseech meaning we beg, we pray, we beg you. 3 days journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our power. And I'm sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go. And just like the king of this spiritual Egypt doesn't want to let us go, he wants this place to continuously be what it's always been: bread and circus, control over the masses. Let's continue. I will not let you go, no, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. So we've seen him smite with the plagues of Egypt. We've seen the plagues that are in Africa, the locusts. We've seen the locusts in Las Vegas. We've seen the locusts in Iowa and Nebraska. We've seen people dying and being sick from disease, pestilence. We've seen the murderous spirit that's been on here to smite this place and kill people by the droves. We've seen ailments. We've seen people continuously be smitten by sicknesses and disease. We've seen all these plagues of Egypt. We've seen sicknesses and disease that are not written. that have perished. Let's continue. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty. But every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment, and ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians. You shall rob the Egyptians. The spoil you may take from the Egyptians. Can you receive it? Of everything that is ours, that belongs to us. Call Haloyim la Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wa Rahakwadash. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, nor listen to what I'm telling them. For they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee. Just because you haven't seen it, you don't believe it. Just because you don't have the faith, you lack the faith. Not all of Israel is Israel. The Lord said unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail, and put forth his hand, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. So the Lord will give you that sign, that vision, that power to be able to do what is asked of you. Do you understand what I'm saying? To control who the Lord wants control of, to awaken who he wants to be awakened. There have been those who have seen the wonders of the Lord and believe it to be true. There are those who've seen the miracles of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the power by the words, by, and believing it and knowing it. And that's what the teachers have done. They've seen the miracles, they believed it. So they spoke it. They spoke the words of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Let's continue. That they may believe that the Lord, Shalakia, the Lord Yahweh of their fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Symbolic as us thinking we are of the other nations, shown by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Let's continue. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it turned again of his other flesh, which was us, Israel, being dark. We have come into the darkness and into the light. The light, you know what I'm saying? The leprous meaning the sickness, the pestilence, the disease, what we were, the wicked, the abomination, and the dark, and coming back into your dark, your nationality, which is the light, which is pure, which is sanctified, which is of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's continue. And it shall come to pass, if I will not believe thee, neither hearken unto the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken, listen unto thy voice, thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of slow tongue. He doesn't have eloquent speech. He can't speak. He couldn't feel like he could communicate with the people of Israel, for them to gain understanding. The Lord said unto him, who hath made man's mouth, or who hath maketh the dumb or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have I not the Lord? The Lord creates all and does all these things. He is in control of the matter, of this whole dynamic. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing. You could be slow of speech. You could communicate by sign language. You could communicate by cartoons. You could communicate by power, and of the tongue. It doesn't matter if you say this, the Lord will speak through you, and someone in that fold is going to hear it because it's meant for them to hear it. How you say it. Call halal yimla Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth. I will be in your mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. And I will teach you what you're going to say. You're going to do your learning to show thyself approval. Continue to study to show thyself approval. So you can learn what to say to the children of Israel. And he said, "Oh, my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send." And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. And he said, "Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that I can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart." So he will send somebody. He will send somebody for you to to help lift you up. Like we have ran into other brethren who have helped us increase in knowledge and understanding. You understand what I'm saying? To lift each other up, to be and help us with our learning and understanding, as of Moses and Aaron of old. You understand what I'm saying? And we're happy in the heart and the mind for knowing that we've met these brothers, that we've seen these brothers, your brethren. And thou shalt speak unto him and put the words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth and with his mouth, and I will teach you what ye shall do. So from the beginning, all the way from elder, Rabbi Abba Bivens, all the way through elder apostle Tahar, elder apostle Gabar, elder apostle Ramla, elder apostle Rakah, was given these words to speak unto Israel, and those of Israel who were of the beginning of the foundation of the earth received it and started to do the same. And ye shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be unto him instead of a power. And thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. The rod meaning these scriptures. The signs meaning learning these scriptures so you can see the signs and wonders of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and learn and know them to be true. You understand what I'm saying? And I will end with that. Part 2 of Woe unto Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? So a sign we must look for this evening is the pink moon. And once everybody gets a glance of it, know that that is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai giving you comfort that everything will be okay. You know what I'm saying? As you continuously see the chariots and the clouds in heaven, know that it's going to be okay. You understand what I'm saying? Even though the enemy come at you like a flood, know that it's going to be okay. Even though the devil come down on you like a flood, even though the devil come down like with wrath, you understand what I'm saying? Because he know he has but a short time. Like a roaring lion trying to seek who he can devour. You know that it's going to be okay. You understand what I'm saying? These are beautiful times, don't you agree? It's a beautiful thing. Call halal yimla Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai wa Rahak Wadash. Double honors to my elder apostles who speak this truth with sincerity. Peace and salutations to the Akim spread abroad. And blessings to the Aqua for listening and learning. I will come back with a part 2 to this momentarily. Shalom Israel. Kwame Yasharala. Rise Israel. And gird up your loins.